All right, that was the Ubisoft press conference right here at E3 2015. Let's start talking about what we saw right at the end. It looks like Ghost Recon's back for the first time in a long time since Advanced Warfighter 2 with Ghost Recon Wildlands.
Well, we've had Ghost Recon, you know, online.
Yes.
Right?
Future Soldier?
It lives. It lives.
Oh, yeah, Future Soldier as well.
It lives.
Oh, we've had a few, actually. My apologies. What are you thinking about Wildlands? From what we saw, it's just fresh off.
So this bit looks
there.
just cozy. We were saying while we were watching, it looked a bit Far Cry.
Yeah.
It had like a touch of Watch Dogs with the
at the end.
The very end, yeah.
You're saying it's almost like Mercenaries co-op, Kevin.
A little bit, yeah. It was very explodey in that sense.
So what we know so far, I guess, is that this is an open world co-op game, but with specific missions as well.
Yeah.
This drug lab setup here was what they sort of focused on. Alexa, any thoughts on what we've seen here in terms of like what this might be in terms of a grander game? Because all they're showing here, I guess, is a bunch of dudes going in to shoot a bunch of other dudes. Like, how do you think this looks differently to other Ubisoft shooters?
I don't think it does. Like, I'm seeing Far Cry. I'm seeing like some Watch Dogs elements. I think it's sort of an amalgam of everything that they've been exploring with other franchises. I mean, that can work. That's super cool. When they got to this part, I started thinking it might have been Call of Juarez.
Yeah, no, there's a couple of people on Twitter saying the same thing as well. Lucy, what are your impressions of this?
I think, first of all, got to celebrate the fact that this was a genuine surprise.
Yeah, true.
I mean, they've kept this really under wraps, and Ubisoft are not really known for keeping their ship watertight. So I'm I'm excited to see more of it. It was weird though. I expected more of a fanfare. It is a new game, but we just got this trailer. So I'm excited about seeing it. I assume they're gonna have at least this trailer or some representative on the booth to talk about it.
Yeah,
you'd hope so. But it looks cool. Also, car door moment, car boom moment.
Good point. That technology spread across all of Ubisoft's various teams. It's kind of an interesting take, I think, Kevin, on I like the fact that this is, I don't know, the co-op stuff in Far Cry 4 was good fun. The idea of expanding that out, almost like The Crew, where you've got this mad open world, you can team up with a couple of buddies and take on missions all around the place. I'm pretty excited. What do you think?
I mean, I think it's going to be super fun. I mean, I think the downside, of course, is that it does remind us of all of the other Ubisoft games.
Yeah.
I mean, we looked at it and think, hey, it looks like, could this be Far Cry? Maybe. And I think that's the only real drawback. The specific might have been a surprise, but what this game is, I don't think is actually a surprise at all.
Yeah.
Whether that doesn't mean it's not going to be awesome or fun, but I don't think that it makes for much of a surprise.
Yeah, it's crazy to think like how far removed this is from the original title of Ghost Recon as well. It's kind of it's the things they've done with this franchise have been kind of all over the place.
But the head tattoo.
Yeah.
The head tattoo. That might be my next tattoo.
Don't mess with
you
people
never
who've
know.
got crosses tattooed on their face. I feel like that's something all of our mothers have told us at some stage or not. That's Ghost Recon Wildlands. That's all we know about it so far. That's our initial we literally saw it like 3 minutes ago. So fingers crossed there'll be more information about that, and we'll have it right here on GameSpot.com. All right, next up to talk about, we've got a bunch of games to get through here, folks. I want to talk about The Division next. We've seen The Division at the Ubisoft conference a couple of years in a row here. This is the third year they've had a big fanfare around it. Is it just me, or does this game look not really as pretty as it did a couple of years ago?
Are you going down the Watch Dogs route?
I don't want to say like this downgrade nonsense, but like, man, like the Ghost Recon trailer looked better than what I saw from The Division.
Well, we'll come back to that in 2 years' time.
Let's see. Yeah, I don't know. It's I'm happy about today's gameplay because it finally showed off the sort of online connectability, what it means to be playing this game with a bunch of people and running into other people and whatnot.
Also, that Ryan guy at the end of the demo. So, I mean, the thing is, I mean, we've seen a lot of these multiplayer playthroughs on the press conferences, but no one's really acting like they would in a real multiplayer situation, apart from that guy.
Who griefs everyone at the end. So what we saw in the demo was that the sort of the main human team here, we're following 3 characters going around basically doing a mission in the world of The Division, get accosted by this other group of online players. And then they sort of band together, and then at the end they decide to turn on them. And then on the end it turns out that one of their friends decided to turn on them as well.
So this is
taking all
really
the loot.
interesting to me. I mean, other games, Kane and Lynch is the first game that
Yes.
comes to mind that's done this before. But what's interesting about that is in Kane and Lynch, it always just devolved into everybody's just going to betray everybody else and whatever. And so my first question would be, what's to keep that from being a thing that you do? What's to keep that, it sounds like a good idea, but in practice, is it really going to be meaningful, or is it always just going to end up being the same anyway?
Yeah.
I'm really curious about that.
Yeah, it's good to see them show off a little bit more of the connectability stuff, but still, it's almost that thing that we're so intrigued by that there are as many questions that get answered. We get loads more questions. Like, for instance, why do you leave a Christmas tree lit up when electricity seems to have gone out of most of the city?
Because, the spirit of Christmas lives on, Danny.
Because sometimes you need a good shot, and sometimes the shot overrides logic in film and in games.
That's a good point. This is the quintessential moment where he's like, no, I'm not going to help you up, bro. I'm going to finish you off because this is internet video games.
God.
Look at the numbers.
Just guns them down.
Yeah, it's pretty good. I like how he
Takes their stuff.
kind of just looks at him, stares him in the eye a little bit. We also got a date for The Division, March 8th, 2016. So we can look forward to that slipping probably one more time before.
At least once.
Cynics, all of us cynics.
I'm really excited for The Division. I like it on paper. I like the idea of the interconnected multiplayer, the idea of being in groups. I'm a little bit down on the graphic stuff. Final thoughts on The Division. Alexa, what do you think?
I don't know. I feel like there are so many military shooters or military-esque shooters.
Yeah, and Ubisoft's making all of them.
Yeah, I don't know. I still don't think I've seen anything different other than, I guess, the ability to turn on your team.
Yeah.
And take their stuff. So.
What do you think, Liz?
I like the idea. It kind of reminded me a little bit of I'm Alive, Ubisoft's fabled another post-apocalyptic game, where it just had that kind of feeling, when the two groups kind of came up against each other, and you're like, do I trust them? Do I not?
And they nailed it in that one.
Yeah. I mean, that game could have been so much more, but maybe some of the ideas went into The Division. I don't know. But it looks. I'm still cautiously excited.
Kevin, final thoughts?
Yeah, still same pretty much, cautiously optimistic about it. Perhaps because I want the Destiny-esque to be a burgeoning genre of its own that's worthy of getting attention. And this is the one game right now that seems to be really following in those footsteps. And I really want a better type of Destiny game. So maybe this will be it. Maybe not.
Maybe 2016 is the year of that sort of, maybe there's more and more of these games coming out.
Destiny 2.
Destiny 2 coming at E3
Oh boy.
2016. Well, we'll be playing The Division by the time that comes out. March 8th, 2016 is when, hopefully, as long as it doesn't slip, we'll all be playing The Division. And if you want any updates on that game, of course, stay tuned right here to GameSpot.com. All right, we got a bunch more games to talk about. How about Assassin's Creed Syndicate? We saw some more Assassin's Creed Syndicate today.
No, we didn't.
Yeah,
we saw a
but
CGI trailer.
We saw a CGI trailer, which looks almost as close to gameplay that I feel like I'm being cheated when I watch it, because it kind of looks like it could have looked that good, but it doesn't. Kevin, what are your thoughts on Syndicate?
I'm sort of iffy at this point, just because they always know how to pick a good song for a trailer. So plus there. But it's just Assassin's Creed, and I can't believe I've got this thing on my arm and I'm saying this.
Hey man, those first 4 games are real good.
They were,
Don't worry about it.
but I don't know. Like I'm at the stage where I'm just like, I needed to see more. There was nothing more of Assassin's Creed. I mean, there'll be more at the show. Clearly, that'll be playable and that kind of thing, I think. But I don't know, just that in and of itself. Plus, this is really nitpicky, but as somebody who's played so much Assassin's Creed, the lighting and the colors are sort of bothering me. Yeah. Because the trailer sort of had some of the same. The yellow has just been cranked up so high.
I think the lighting in this trailer
and it's driving me insane. And we saw that in the gameplay footage that they also showed. The yellow has been cranked up so high
this looks
that I find it
so
distracting.
much better, obviously because it's CG, but just even in terms of the style, I just prefer this so much better. There's something about the lighting and the gameplay we've seen that really irks me. And there's all of this, it looks close enough to gameplay. Yeah. It's just a little bit jarring. I mean, if you're going to kill some horses, you might as well do it on...
Oh God, I hated this.
And at least they might as well be English horses.
Yeah.
I mean, what good has an English horse ever done anybody?
Yeah, face
No,
first.
they don't.
Horses are real good.
They fall in the water, and they're still hitched to that cart.
It's the equine leap of faith.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Horses are renowned for being really able to take falls.
Take a fall on the face. Alexa, you were looking forward to seeing the other protagonist in this trailer as well, and they didn't do it.
No, I'm disappointed because we've seen 2 bits of gameplay and trailers now, and they keep saying, "Oh, this game is about Jacob and Evie Fry," and they talk about the twins and how they're both important. But we now have 2 very lengthy CGI trailers, just focusing on this male protagonist, and it's doubly disappointing because at Bethesda yesterday we got 2 trailers with that you can play as a man or a woman, and they had the Dishonored. You have the option to play as either, and they chose to focus on Emily.
I wonder if this is their PR team deciding that they're going to leave all that stuff till the last. Or just first 6 months showing him off, last 6 months showing her off. We'll have to wait and see, but it did seem a little bit weird because they've been teasing her for so long to then spend 6 minutes showing off this dude again, who basically just looks like a British Ezio, kind of a jerk, facial hair looks dumb.
Yeah,
like,
I mean, that's all well and good.
I guess we'll have to wait and see. Any other thoughts on this, Baba, Lucy?
I mean, we're going to be seeing it on the GameSpot stage, actually. You should come check out where we're going to have, hopefully, actual gameplay. So I'm excited to see that. So, I mean, it's Assassin's Creed. I'll play it. I know I will. There's no point saying that I won't.
I want to get real excited for Assassin's Creed again.
I know, right?
Right?
Yeah.
Like, I think all 4 of us are people who enjoy Assassin's Creed, but it's just... It's not happening.
Get hyped up right now about it.
It's not happening.
It's hard.
And that's coming out this calendar year. So fingers crossed we'll see some more. Fingers crossed we'll have some more coverage as well on the GameSpot stage. So make sure you stay tuned to GameSpot.com for more of that. All right, let's do a quick little roundup of everything else we saw. First of all, Trackmania Turbo.
No one expected that.
No.
Hands up if you like Trackmania. Yeah.
You know what? Like, it looked fun, and then they said they had a VR demo.
Yes, they do.
Wow.
Which just looked insane.
Alexa gets sick on VR. I feel
do.
like that might be the quickest way to get sick on VR.
If I just need to vomit.
Yeah.
Oh
Strap it
God!
on.
Just thinking of it now makes me think, oh my
Oh,
God.
God.
There was a game called Toy Box Turbos, which very similar premise, and they did it in VR, but they did it, the camera pulled way back and kind of following along. And that didn't, it kind of worked, kind of didn't. There was a bit of
This is
lag.
going from third person to first person and then
Crazy.
moving around so fast.
So this really looks like Trackmania Nations, which was it's about maybe 4 years ago now, before all that Mania Planet nonsense. So we don't know if they're actually going to keep with Mania Planet. That was when they released Trackmania, and they had you had to buy Stadium, and you had to buy all your different areas.
Right.
This one, they say there's going to be 4 environments off the track, 200 tracks. They also have their sort of procedurally generated track thing as well. Variety of cars as well. There's kind of like F1 V8 looking things there, and some other type of dirt cars. And also virtual reality. There you go.
And a bitchin' hat.
Yeah, and a sweet, Trackmania's back in a big way. For a second there, it also looked like we had some sort of...
Oh my God.
Fucking, what was that? It was like a cat on a... Everyone thought it was Darksiders.
Oh yeah, everyone's screaming, Darksiders! It's Darksiders! And it's a cat riding a fire-breathing unicorn with a double rainbow in the background.
So you're like, oh yeah, of course, it's Trials Fusion's expansion pack.
Yeah.
God, that was...
Because why not?
So this is like the Blood Dragon for Trials, right?
Yeah,
Blood
I
Dragon
guess.
Trials.
This is an expansion pack where you're a cat riding a unicorn.
With a
fire-breathing
pierced lip.
unicorn.
You were all so funny.
That's
it was
an
so funny.
emo, edgy unicorn.
Welcome to the future.
And
2
then
moons.
rainbows.
Amazing.
You just let this speak for itself.
Yeah.
Look at that.
Oh, triple rainbow.
There's a whole bunch of nonsense going on. This is Awesome Level Max, which is the expansion coming soon for fans of Trials Fusion. There was a new Anno game as well, or Anno 2205.
Anno, yeah.
So what was the last one? 2070?
2070.
Yeah, so they're going
2070.
future again.
They're going future again.
You
this
played
time
this,
with
but
Moon. I did play this,
Is
but
it
I
a-
can't get into specifics until tomorrow, sadly.
Oh,
All right, no
boy.
worries.
But we know that it exists now. And so, the Moon. And it's a city builder, and there's a whole... I mean, if you've played the Anno series before, you sort of know what you're getting into. It's a trade game, a game where you build city and you're trading to make your citizens more and more happy and to expand and stuff like that. But with the Moon.
Yeah, and I guess there'll be more on that on GameSpot tomorrow, Kevin.
Yeah, totally.
Sweet. Moving swiftly on. Who knew? So they had some dancing happening.
Yeah.
Jason
Yeah.
Derulo just turned up.
That was like,
This-
do you remember when
Amazing.
Usher appeared at the Microsoft press conference?
How could I forget?
Well, there he is.
There it is.
Yeah, just do it. It's not a singing game, but whatever.
You're no prince, Jason.
This is coming out on a bunch of platforms. They're also bringing out Just Dance Unlimited on PS4, Xbox One, and Wii U. I think it's as well.
They also have. They also said you can play with your phone now.
Great.
Which
They said that last year. though.
yeah,
Don't even need a console.
Don't even.
Oh, the best is to dance with my phone.
Yeah.
When people look at me while I'm dancing, looking at my phone, oh man,
Just playing
you
a
should see the
Fallout
looks.
game while you're dancing.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the thing. Like, there's not much you can say
not.
about Just Dance.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just a game in which you dance.
Yeah.
No, let's stretch. Let's keep going. Let's keep
All
going.
right.
5 minutes on Just
Oh,
Dance. 150 of the greatest Just Dance hits. New songs
All
year
of
long.
those
I've just
hits.
seen Gangnam Style. All right. Recognize
Okay.
one.
This
Yeah.
was pretty good, but I think the best presentation. I know we liked Jason Derulo. How about an actual Viking coming out on stage? To
Talking
Oh,
about
that
his
guy.
Viking game?
That guy.
For
Oh my
honor.
God.
That looks awesome.
Beard guy is the best guy that ever guyed in the history
We
of
know
guys.
you're a fan of a beard guy.
Yeah, the beard guy was the best guy, and he is the Dark Lord.
Yes, on Twitter,
On
he's
Twitter.
the
Oh,
underscore
really?
The
Dark Lord
underscore
with an
Dark
E.
Lord, Lord with an E.
Oh.
I'd like to point out. So he's the underscore Dark Lordy. So you should follow this dude
Yeah.
because he's frightening.
He's great.
Kevin Van Ord, beard guy evangelist. What did you think of For Honor?
I want that combat in Assassin's Creed. Why can't we have that?
Yeah,
It's
it
kind of
looks
like
really good.
chivalry.
It looks like chivalry, but does it
Yep.
have MOBA elements? Because it looked like there was stuff going on in the background. Like
Bit of
maybe
creep.
this is
Yeah.
Like I was kind of thinking.
Are we referring to that as MOBA elements? Because like Titanfall does that. We don't say that's a MOBA.
Oh yeah.
But
Well, I mean, I don't
MOBA
know. It's hard to
elements.
tell. I thought maybe
guess.
there were creeps and there were like, like territory to control. Like as
Yeah.
you move further towards the enemy camp. But I don't know. I could be just making this shit up as I go.
Looks pretty cool.
That's
Yeah.
kind of what I'm doing actually.
And the last game to talk about, South Park, The Fractured Butthole.
So good.
The Fractured
What naming?
Butthole.
They really want a 9.5 on GameSpot. I don't have the heart to tell them we don't even have 9.5s anymore.
Well-
but I'll go with it. I'll go with it.
Trey and Matt back on stage doing it again. This time Obsidian not involved. Ubisoft San
Yeah.
Francisco apparently.
Not really a
sad.
surprise.
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
not surprised either.
Why?
Obsidian is a good developer, but they do other things. I think better than what they did with South Park.
Okay.
Stick of Truth. Like I
Yeah.
loved Stick of Truth, but I thought it was a little too like
Formula or simple?
it was a little too formulaic. And
It
the
was
thing about the South
simple,
Park world is
easy.
it's so vibrant and hilarious
Yeah.
and awesome, and there was so much more to do with it. I like the game, but I think that maybe this is an opportunity for Ubisoft SF to really push the boundaries there.
Well, I
Alright.
also think Obsidian moves to new things
They
pretty
do,
quickly.
they do.
Don't really stick with something.
Yeah.
So.
Well, that's all Ubisoft had to show for us. We're going to take a quick little break, and we will be back right here on the GameSpot, I guess, War Room stage. Sony's kicking off in just a little bit of time, so we're going to start our pre-show for that. So stay tuned, and we'll be back. Girlwood.